I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. Now my phone be blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might become an addict. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it now, I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, now you know what's next stage. You been rockin' with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. Oh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her,
feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay, I've been moving dog, yeah, I'm on the way, I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say, I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait, I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes, I just put in that work, told them it's strictly business, and I see through the face, they all just burning bridges, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple, I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog, yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off, I've been going down the list, checking numbers off, I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off, I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing, now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing, they been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying, when they send a text, dog I ain't replying, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah I got a couple, I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell, feel like John Morant, need a triple-double, told him check the stats, yeah I got a couple, I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble, I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide, never see me coming, I'm a landmine, yeah I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand, if you ain't know, you about to understand, yeah I got the team by my side, right hand, yeah take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that, yeah and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag, Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, hang on one second. This is an emergency. Jenny says, "Hey, Frankie, my boy in Multire, Georgia, I think I see that correctly, says has a plug on goats. If you're interested, I'll give you his Discord." Shout out to Jenny. Let's go. We got the plug on the goats, guys. Shout out to all the goats out there. We will be getting a goat. I don't think I can keep it at the house, but I will get a goat at some point, guys. But shout out to Jenny. Jenny's got the goat plug. Let's go. But welcome in, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing live stream. We got a great one for you tonight as Bitcoin is doing a little bit of a pumpy dumpy here. We got some weird price action on the lower time frames earlier, but I want to talk about kind of, obviously we had a big day yesterday, getting the big move up to about $73,670, and now we're kind of just consolidating around that key level of resistance that we were looking at on the live stream a while ago, and we got that move into that level, and we are starting to consolidate here, guys, and we got that nice little rip up. We'll talk about the price action, guys, but I want to talk about kind of where we are likely to go next here. We'll talk about some of the recent trades that we took in the premium Discord, and then we'll take a look at the altcoins, and hopefully we could keep that light, that candle lit, guiding the way in the markets for the Candle Mafia. Let's go. Smash that like button, guys. We hit our like goal last night. We got 800. I think we got, was it 750? I don't know what it was. We hit our like goal yesterday. Today's like goal is going to be 850, guys. Yesterday we hit it, so we are going to be giving away some Solana on Friday's live stream, which is coming up. So smash up that like button if you have not already. Shout out to Evan. Evans, what is going on? Says bing bong. Shout out to you, bro. Welcome in. He says candles. Let's go. Shout out to Ziva. Crypto girl. Welcome in. We got Nirvana in the chat. We got Jay. Says charts. Shout out to Jay. Stick around. We're going to be jumping to the charts in about 14 seconds. But we got to shout out to Mafia. We got Jesse in the chat. What is going on, bro? Dropping those goat emojis. We got Carlos S. in the chat. We got Dan 301986. I think that's what that says. All set, guys. We got Jessica in the chat. Welcome in, Jessica. Good to see you. We got Jordan in the chat. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. We got Botso. And last but not least, guys, we got Pennywise, everybody's favorite friendly or evil clown. We're not really 100% sure, but shout out to Pennywise and Fabian in the chat, guys. But we got a lot to look at here. I think Mrs. Candles is bringing up a fresh cup of black coffee. So hopefully we can get that soon. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump on in. Market maker crazy. Yeah, shout out to Dirty 8 Racing. We'll kind of dive into that price action, guys. It was crazy. But let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's go. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. This was a scout that we took in the premium Discord. I'm going to talk about this a little bit, guys, because this started off as an interesting kind of trading plan that we had as we had some mixed signals. Kind of looked like we were going to dump and kind of looked like we were going to pump. Took a really low-risk short, expecting it almost to get stopped out. And then we also took the long, just like playing both ends of the coin there, waiting for one to get stopped and let the winner run. And sure enough, that long wound up ripping up to final TP. Yeah, we'll talk about the trades in a second, but yeah, we had some wonky price action here, guys. I don't know what the heck was going on. But yeah, this was absolutely a washer machine before we finally wound up seeing that play out in full. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on in here. We are, let me go ahead and pull up the higher time frames. Bada boom. So obviously, guys, we're going to start here on the higher time frames, looking at our kind of macro range, which is still important, right? Obviously, we have kind of broken out of that at this point, or we definitely have broken out of that at this point, but here we are, right? Like, what have we been expecting? We're in that 7-month range. We get the breakout. We get all those liquidations to get all those short liquidations to get absolutely slapped. We get that big push to the upside. Let me go ahead and hide some of this. Let me go ahead and hide some of this local analysis here, and bada boom. Get that off the chart. But obviously, let me pull up the main range here, right? So obviously we were looking for that breakout to wreck the shorts above that value area high at $70,150. Looking for that big pop into our next level of resistance, which is sitting right around these weekly naked points of controls. And that is literally where we are sitting, right? Not yesterday, but the day before. We were looking for that wash of the shorts to get that push into the level, and now we are starting to consolidate. And, as I always say, guys, I don't like to trade in the middle of the move. We obviously had that long setup in the premium Discord from the bottom. I got stopped out in profit, but I was unable to capitalize on that because I got stopped out in profit. But this is not where I look for the trades, right? I would rather wait for price to hit a key level, start consolidating, which if we go down to the lower time frames, you guys will start to see that consolidation. I'll let you guys know exactly what I'm looking at. But as price action starts to consolidate up here, this is where I like to get my bearings to actually take some trades, right? So, like, no trades yesterday, really. We had to wait for a price to kind of cool off and let the dust settle just a little bit. But here we are, right? Sitting on our first level of resistance. We have to keep in mind, guys, this is a level of resistance. I know the breakout is exciting, and I do feel pretty good about it, to be quite honest with you. But it may not just be up in a straight line. Hopefully, we can just continue up here, but we are going to talk about a potential pullback here, but nothing really too scary. Just going to be looking for minor pullbacks to put in the higher low and then continue off into all-time highs. I am still generally expecting all-time highs to come in over the long term, right? But that's going to come with a lot of turbulence, some potential pullbacks, obviously, and that's, we'll keep an eye out for that, and I'll break down what exactly I'm looking at here in just a second. Now, if we take a look at the daily here, guys, VWAP, obviously that bearish divergence has been invalidated. Obviously, once we got that breakout, we didn't put in that bear div. So no short setup. We let the thing run. It comes up to higher prices. And now at this point, guys, it does look like this is going to be invalidated. But that VWAP is starting to come down, potentially giving us a red dot here. And that could indicate start to indicate where we may see that little bit of a pullback here, right? Pulling up the 16-hour, you can see red dot is also looking to print here. This is going to be another thing that I'm looking at. Now, again, that bearish divergence is kind of getting invalidated at this point, right? Like, we're kind of clipping that, not making a higher high here, not really getting that bearish divergence, but that red dot could still give us a little bit of a pullback. 12-hour also looking for the red dot as well. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we do wind up getting a pullback here. But again, we're going to zoom into those lower time frames, look at this consolidation. I'll show you guys the actual levels that I'm looking at. And if we do pull back, same thing as yesterday, guys. Key level of support is going to remain this golden pocket 786 retracement. On top of that value area high, the previous value area high that we just broke out of, which is sitting at about $70,150. So if we do get that pullback, I would really be looking at this level being the biggest level of support. Not only is this going to be a place where I would look for a higher low and a continuation up, but it's also going to be that kind of line in the sand where we may get stuck underneath it, and then we'll use that as our guide if we should be looking for lower prices, or if we're just going to put in that higher low and continue up. And as of right now, I am going to be looking for longs down in this zone for a higher low and a continuation up if we can get down there. Now, I do want to pull up the lower time frames, guys. Give you an idea of kind of what I'm looking at locally for a potential pullback. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Say It With Me, Sui. Let's go. Shout out to Sui. He says, clean that sticky desk. Yes, I did. I cleaned that sticky desk. And yeah, it was... Yeah, if you guys weren't here yesterday, I spilled Aztecian cactus moss water all over my desk. It was disgusting, and we just had to kind of wipe it up and keep going. So I dealt with a sticky desk all stream. But anyway, I did clean that up, though. Thanks for checking on that. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Darren Dussing, says Frankie 4-hour can hopefully give us a decent bear div after the next green dot. Yeah, so let's dive in here to those lower time frames. And I do just want to point out, guys, just to kind of show how the TA is just complete and total magic. This was our next target to the upside, and where is price just bing-bonging around it, right in that exact level, right? And, you know, this is kind of what I like to see, right? I like to wait for the big moves, right, and then let price kind of bing-bong around, let it get some consolidation so we can actually get a bearing on what is actually happening here. Take some higher probability trades rather than just trying to FOMO into a long in the middle of a green candle, right? Now, I'm going to hide these kind of major levels. Excuse me, hide the weekly naked points and controls, and I'm going to zoom in here to the lower time frames, right? Now, taking a look at the 30-minute here. Now, another thing that I'm going to be watching pretty closely here, guys, for a potential pullback is going to be a couple of things, right? We started, before we got this last little push to the upside, we did start to get this money flow crossover into the red on the 24-minute at the same time as printing this 8-hour red dot. Now, there's kind of two situations we can see happen here, right? Number one was the short setup given in the premium Discord, which was, let me pull that up real quick, which was basically just what we typically look for, right? Coming up into the value area high where we also had a golden pocket confluence. Let me go ahead and redo this here, where we had that golden pocket confluence, because if we are going to look for a lower high to come in and a rejection back down to lower prices, where are we going to be looking? We're going to be looking at that golden pocket 786 zone, right? Now, I was unable, I mean, this happened so quickly. We took the long down here, wrote it up, and then I went to go, scarf some food down. God forbid I have some lunch. And we wound up hitting the level and getting a super quick rejection. So I am personally not in this. But I do think if we do come back up, there may be a really, really nice setup to be had. I'm not going to talk about the actual confirmation signal. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Thank you for the fresh black coffee here. Looks like a look at the head on that thing. Jesus. Looks like it looks like a dark beer. Good Lord. It's black coffee, guys. It's black coffee. Yo, that is literally like a Guinness. That's crazy. Anyway, shout out to Mrs. Candles. But yeah, that is kind of the idea here. But there is another thing, right? There's kind of another situation that I'm looking at. Are we going to get the pullback just from, consolidating up here? Was this the top? Potentially. And to be quite honest with you guys, we have that 12 and that 16-hour money flow. 12 and 16-hour red dots starting to print or looking to print here. Very close. And we also have the 30-minute money flow and the 45-minute money flow starting to come out here, right? So if we do start getting those 12 and 16-hour red dots and those money flow crossovers start to happen on the 45-minute, on the 35-minute, on the 35-minute, on the 30-minute, and potentially the 1 hour. The 1 hour is not coming out as aggressively, but it is technically trending down here. So if we are going to get a pullback from here, I would like to see, likely that is going to be the thing that kind of gives us the move, right? Money flow crossover into the red on the 30-minute and the 45-minute. Maybe the thing to start that bigger move to the downside. And that is definitely a possibility. That's why we have the short setup here in the premium Discord. And again, to be quite honest, I kind of hope we come back up so I can find an entry. Took the long, but this just happened so fast. And again, guys, I don't know what the heck was going on today. We had some wonky price action. Boom, boom. Just crazy price action today. But there is another situation. It actually has to do with what Darren just mentioned. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Entry Point. Said, Frankie, how do you drink beer and still sound so coherent? Shout out to Crypto Entry Point. Here's the trick, bro. Here's the trick. The beer is just black coffee. I don't know why this has such a, I don't know. This is, honestly, I like a little foam in my Nespresso, but it's a little too much, honestly. This is a little too much. It's like thick. It's like, can you guys see that? It's like thick. It's not even like liquid. It's like, I don't know. I don't know with that. I don't know. Look at that. It's like, can you guys see that little spike there? What the heck is going on? This is weird coffee, guys. Is Mrs. Candles trying to take me out? What's going on? Doesn't taste weird. God, it is hot though. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. But yeah. Here's the other kind of situation that I would be looking at. Now, shout out to Darren Does Things, because kind of what he's saying is we do have this, there's another thing that might actually, if we are going to put in a higher high here, there is something I'm going to be looking at. Now, again, opportunity to potentially come down from here. Yeah, sure. And I am taking that into consideration. But with our 3-hour green dot printing and the way that these momentum waves look right now, I'm going to hide the TA here for a second, right? If we get this to come up, and give us a potential higher high on price. It looks like these momentum waves could be set up for a pretty nice bearish divergence, which number one can be something we can look at if we get the push up. But number two, we can use that to kind of front run the idea of putting in a higher high. So there's, again, two scenarios here. We do not need the higher high, right? Like I said, already had the short set up here in the premium Discord from the top. But if that winds up coming up and giving us another push, I will be looking for that bearish divergence. And the way these momentum waves look, sometimes we can front run that stuff. Even on the 4 hour, that green dot prints, if we can get that continuation up, put that higher high in, not only would it call for a higher high, but it would potentially give us an even stronger reason to look for another short back up here. Really hard to say if we're going to get that move up, to be quite honest with you, right? Because if we pull our fib here, let me pull up the, so, you know, it's kind of hard because we don't really have much above us here, right? Like, the only levels we have above us, technically, are the all-time high, right? Let's go ahead and pull this, right? The all-time high, which we basically came up and tapped yesterday. But, like, really the only levels above us are that all-time high. So maybe we come up and tap that all-time high before putting in that bearish divergence. But again, I don't know if we're going to get that, right? That's just kind of like second scenario. But first is going to be the rejection of these local levels here, right? Not a short signal for Bitcoin. It is too late to short Bitcoin now, at least in my opinion. I'm not shorting it right now. You know, the setup was from up here. We're already gotten a nice little 0.84% dump here, which is obviously pretty small. But, you know, the way this money flow looks, guys, the way this money flow looks on the 45-minute, on the 30-minute, with the 12 and 16-hour red dots looking to print, I'm not going to just sit on my hands. I am going to be, you know, I'm not going to guarantee that we come up to put that higher high in. But really what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that 4-hour green dot to print and see what it gives us. Maybe it comes in, puts it in on the all-time high, and then we can look for a fresh short. But to be quite honest with you, it's really the money flow. That 1/16th market cipher B strategy where we have the 30-minute money flow crossing over into the red with that 8-hour red dot printing at the same time, which we didn't really get just yet. It kind of front ran that signal, but the 12-hour red dot with the 45-minute money flow crossover into the red is still potentially going to play out here, right? Or at least start to show itself. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Key levels of support, resistance, guys, is going to be value area high, which was kind of our last TP on that little scalp long position. But value area high sitting here at about 72,966, basically 73K. Yeah, creeping up towards that 73K level where we have that golden pocket 786, right? And again, why were we looking for that short? Let me just pull up my face cam really quickly. I don't want to leak anything personal here in the Discord. I just want to kind of take a look at it with you guys. So yeah, let me pull that up real quick. Bada boom. So there you go, right? Looking for that in the premium Discord. And again, we kind of just flew up and insta rejected. I kind of would have liked to see a little bit more consolidation up here. So maybe we can get back up there. But to be quite honest, like that's where the setup was from. Not quite the place to, you know, just start shorting here. I would rather wait for a retracement to the upside. I don't know if I have that position on here. Let me see. Or is it? No, that's not it. Yeah, maybe I don't have it on here. Might have deleted it. But yeah, it's from this golden pocket, right? And where are we looking for? Why are we looking for that rejection at the golden pocket? Golden pocket 786 is likely where we are going to get those rejections from, right? And especially when it's in line with that value area high. Simple value area play as well, right? We deviated below the low. Part of the reason we actually, and let me pull that up actually. We did take a little bit of a scalp short here. My stop loss was not that high. But we took a little scalp short here in anticipation of that money flow coming out. We didn't know if we were going to get that money flow in the 30 minutes to cross over and give us a bigger dump. So we took a stab at it, but at the same time, it kind of goes against how I trade, right? And we were talking about this in the premium. I don't like to look for shorts as we deviate below the low. But if we were going to get some kind of crazy dump here, I didn't want to miss it. So I took a very low-risk short here with a very tight stop loss, and I got stopped at it, and then basically sitting in both those positions saying, hey, if we get stopped out of the short, I'm happy to let the long run because, again, we're deviated below that value area low. We started to get some bullish confirmations. We get back above the low, into the POC, into the value area high. And that was the thought process behind that trade. And that one did wind up playing out in full, obviously, right there. And then we got stopped out of the short for a very small loss. And if I actually pull up the if I actually pull it up here, and that's like the name of the game. I don't oftentimes take a long and a short at the same exact time, but small losses big wins, right? We got stopped out of the short for a 4% loss and then a 22% gain on the long, right? So it's okay to get stopped out of that. That's why it was a low risk trade, right? To getting a small loss to potentially get the bigger trade to play out. And if the long got stopped out, then we simply would have just had the short pay us out, right? So nice little beautiful crazy price action here as well with the big pump and dump. I don't know what the heck was going on there. But with that being said, that was kind of the idea of that, and then obviously we got stopped out of that. I'll take that off the chart. Bada boom. But yeah, I would really, really like to come back up in here. If not, I'm going to have to try to find an entry in between because, of course, I had to go to lunch while, we wound up getting that set up to play out or kind of present itself. But yeah, overall, guys, this 30-minute money flow is looking like we may want to pull back here. Are we going to pull back from here, or are we going to come up and put in that 4-hour bearish divergence? Very, very, very hard to tell, but that's kind of how I'm playing it. And yeah, so that is 12-hour and 16-hour red dots also looking to print. That is really the that's the gist of it, guys. High time frame red dots with that money flow on the corresponding time frames, lower time frames, starting to come to the downside is really kind of what I'm looking at for the pullback. And if we get a surprise here, we get a surprise pump, I will be looking for that 4-hour bear div for another short setup. Now, again, not just waiting to get that bear div and short the bear div. We have to assess the situation when we get into the level. But yeah, pretty simply put, guys, that's what I'm looking at. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I'll just go ahead and hide this long position really quickly. But just playing within this volume profile. We come back up. We could simply look for the shorts, right? Come back down. And then we could potentially look for longs down here. That is the local levels of support and resistance. But you might say to yourself, if we are going to get a bigger breakdown here and get a bigger correction to come in, how low can we potentially go? And the answer to that, guys, is not that low, right? In my opinion, at least at first for me, I'm not going to be looking at that much of a dump here. Let me see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Where is the main range? Boom, right? If we get the bigger pullback, right, whether we put in the 4-hour bear div or we just wind up coming down from here, this is going to be the next key level that I'm looking at for support, right? This is where we have the golden pocket. I think it's, pulled from here. Golden pocket, 786 retracement, and that value area high. This would really just be, from the price right now, if we came to that value area high, it would be like a 3% pullback, right? Maybe potentially a 5% pullback, 4% pullback to the 786. But this is really what I'm going to be looking at, right? This is very, very key support as it is our, let me go ahead and change this, as it is our macro value area high and our golden pocket 786. So it wouldn't be that out of the question if we were to come down here to put in a higher low and then finally continue up. So yeah. I would really like to see a cool off here. Maybe we just keep ripping, guys. I mean, here's the thing, right? Anything is possible. This is just how I am personally playing the charts, right? I am a trader. We long the bottoms. We short the tops as much as we can. And guys, also, right? It's not about winning every single position. Like I said, like I show the losses too, right? And we knew this was going to be risky. We take a small risk on it, right? And then we just let the winner run. But you don't win every single trade, right? As long as it is all about the risk management, making sure you have small losses and much bigger wins. As we said here, small losses and bigger wins is the name of the game. You don't always have to look at when you get stopped out as a loss, right? Or oh man, like it's part of the game to get stopped out of trades, right? If you don't want to get stopped out of trades, you are in the wrong game because it doesn't matter how good you are at analysis, it doesn't matter how good you are at TA. You're going to wind up getting stopped out of trades regardless of your strategy, regardless of how you do your analysis, right? Everyone gets stopped out. It's literally a cost of doing business. So there we go. Let's see. Black coffee. Shout out to Mad Ads. We got that black coffee in the chat. Shout out to 12 Big said, Frankie Candles, please stop sending me friend requests in Discord. I've gotten 5. Do you get the point? I don't want to be your friend. Shout out to 12 Big. Come on, bro. I'm just kidding. Shout out to 12 Big. He knows they're scammers, guys. If anyone reaches out to you saying they're posing as me, saying they're gonna trade for you, it's a scam. It's not me. I don't have any meme coins. I don't promote any kind of meme coins or any kind of altcoins. I don't trade for anybody. I don't even do that for my family. So if anyone's reaching out to you in Discord, on YouTube, anywhere, Twitter, there's a million different scammers. They are impossible to get rid of. We try, and as soon as we get one, 10 more pop up. So yeah, they are absolutely ridiculous. Please be careful. Be careful out there. I will never DM you and ask you for money. The only thing that you will have interaction with us from is if I'm like, hey bro, what's going on? Have a great day, right? Like, I'm not going to say that no one will ever talk to me in DMs. I've talked to obviously a lot of you guys. If DM me, right? Or if I reach out to you for something, it'll never be to ask for money or anything like that. So yeah, just be careful out there. I will never ask for money. If they are total scammers. So be aware. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Guys, show our mod some love in the chat. Thank you for being here, Cap. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jamie. Said, when Frankie coin? Absolutely never. Yeah, it's just, not my thing. Not my thing. I think there's a lot of, I don't know. I personally am never going to, I don't want to say never, but like it's a lose-lose situation for me. I don't see a way that I've never seen a creator make a meme coin and see it go well. And most people have bad intentions. Not everybody, but most people have bad intentions. So yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, let's see. Phoebe Coin. Shout out to Liliana. Lilian, I don't know if that's how you say your name, but yeah, no. Never going to have a meme coin. And if there is a meme coin, guys, ever that's like named Frankie Candles or Bing Bong Token or anything like that, I don't have anything to do with it. If I ever did decide to have anything to do with it, I would tell you guys. But yeah, I have any kind of altcoins, any kind of meme coins. So it's all scam out there if they're trying to get you. Shout out to Tony D. Said, Frankie's Discord handle is Frankie Candles. My Discord handle is Tony D. Anything else is a scam. No underscores, no nothing. So yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. Shout out to good Travis Hunting said Logan Paul's crypto did great. Shout out to Logan Paul. Yeah, there's an example of how that goes. But anyway. All right, let's see. Let's check out the poll here. We got a like poll. How many likes can we get before 6:30? 500 people said 500 people. 45% of you guys, or 48% of you guys said 500. Let's go. How close are we? Oh, baby, we're at 393, baby. Smash that like button. Let's go for 500 before, what time is it? We got time. We got time. Smash that like button, guys. Shout out to Tony D saying, who is Phoebe? But yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. That is kind of how I'm handling things. That is my plan. Overall, going to be seeing if we can get a creep up here to find another short entry. If we rip, I will simply be looking at those higher levels. And again, all-time high sitting at 73,951. Like, that's kind of the only other level we have above us unless we pull a Fibonacci extension, right? Let me go ahead and pull up the extension, right? Where we have 74,204, which is another kind of confluence right in here, right? Like, this is really the only thing that we can go off of, being that we don't have any price action to the left. Let me look left above the all-time high, right? And then it comes into 74 to 75K. The only other thing that we have down here, guys, to be quite honest with you, are spider lines. So if I go ahead and pull these up real quick, what the heck? Let's pull up the daily. Actually, no, let's pull up like the 45-minute. And let's pull up those spider lines really quick. Bada boom, bada bing. What is going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay, so, yeah, the only other thing we have above us is this spider line, but to be quite honest, this is kind of high to put that divergence in on, right? Like, maybe we get it. I mean, not impossible. 2 hour, 4 hour, like, but this is sitting all the way up at 74.9. Yeah, 74.9, almost 75K. So that is also up there. I don't have this on the original chart. But yeah, like between 74 and 75K, like this is likely going to be the next area that we look at. And again, it gets pretty hard when you don't have any price action to look left on. So yeah, going to be a little bit difficult there. But if we are going to put that divergence, this is kind of the zone I'm going to be looking at. I know it's kind of a wide zone of resistance, but those are the levels. 74,204. All-time high to 74,204, and then 74,610 is in the middle, and then 75K is kind of at the high, and then that spider line kind of flies right through there as well. So, yeah, if we get the push up, those are the levels I'll be looking at. But other than that, let me get rid of these. Bada boom. Other than that, looking at this local volume profile, we're starting to get a little bit more of a push up here. Let's see if we can get into that. And also, 786 will be another place to look. So, yeah, if we don't pull back from here, and we get the breakout, I will be looking for those bear divs up here. And again, not just shorting the bear divs. You have to wait for price to come in. Are you getting the bearish divergence? What is price action looking like? Do you have any confirmations locally to enter? There's a lot to it, but that's just generally what I'm looking at. So yeah, 4-hour green dot prints, we put in a higher high. Those are the levels that we're looking at. All right, let's see. Shout out to Harris. Shout out to you, bro. He says, when will Jasmine go up? Waiting and waiting. Shout out to Harris. Maybe we could take a look at Jasmine in just a second. Don't wear shorts in the winter. Shout out to Shirley Sound. Yeah, I wouldn't wear shorts in Q4. Yeah, that also could be that if you're wearing your crypto shorts in Q4. Your shorts you might soil your shorts. Anyway, or liquidate them. You might liquidate. You might pee your pants, guys. Anyway, let's continue on here. 75K, nice round number for a sell-off. Yeah, that is possible. Let me actually pull up. Some of these MPOCs. I don't think we have any. Yeah, 73.7. We technically have a weekly naked point of control, a 5-tick point of control. All the 1 ticks have been. Oh no, it's still a 1 tick. So yeah, daily naked point of control at 73.792. So that could be another thing, 73.792. That could be another level to look at just above this high. But yeah, like really the only reason I would be looking for the higher high, to be quite honest with you guys, is the way Market Cipher B looks, right? Shout out to Danner Does Things for pointing that out, right? Like this looks like you could form a bear div. And what do we need? It's the same exact thing, guys, as kind of how we predicted this. Not the only reason we were able to see this breakout, but part of the reason why we figured maybe we could put in a higher high right here, breaking the highs at about 69K or 69.5. Part of that reason was the fact that when we come back here, you guys can see this was kind of set up to potentially put in a bearish divergence. We talked about this on the live stream, right? Well, once we got the green dot, right? We're saying, hey, this could potentially come up and put in a lower high. And if it does, it's going to call for a higher high on price action. And then if we put that higher high in and we get the daily bear div, that's what we could look at for shorts. And what happened? Sure, we did not get the daily bear div, which is fine. We just don't take the short. But it predicted the higher high, right? So it's kind of the same situation here on the 4-hour, right? Very similar situation where we're getting the green dot. Let me come out of bar replay mode here. Where you're getting the potential green dot to print here, right? And it could potentially give you a bearish divergence, right? But it could also give you a higher high. And again, those are the zones that I'm looking at, right? So yeah, and then, you know, whether we get that push up or not, kind of hard to predict. But again, just Market Cipher B-wise, you know, you have to think about it in terms of time frames, right? And this is kind of how we were able to expect this long to kind of play out, right? Because to be quite honest with you, when I was in the Discord earlier today, like I don't want to walk through the whole thing in the premium, but when we look at the chart here, right, I'm looking at the 30-minute, and I'm saying, hey, this money flow is coming out, right? I'm looking at the 24-minute, and I'm saying, hey, this money flow is crossing over into the red. And then I'm coming over to the 8-hour, and I'm saying, hey, we're getting a red dot. A lot of times when you have that 8-hour red dot with the 30 and 24-minute money flow crossing into the red, the money flow crossovers on those lower time frames is what gives you the bigger move to the downside. So that was looking pretty bearish. But then when I come down to the lower time frames, I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, hey, this money flow is coming up. And when the 5-minute money flow comes up with the 80-minute green dot printing, that sometimes gives us a bigger move to the upside, right? So we started to see some contradiction there, but the lower time frames were calling for up, which wound up being what played out, right? Because the long wound up playing. Bada boom, right? The long wound up playing, but the higher time frames still, like the 12 and the 16-hour, the money flow on the 30-minute and 45-minute still could be calling for downside, right? So I'm glad that we got the long, right? But then those higher time frames could still play out. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Whether we come up here before a pullback or whether we just kind of pull back from here is kind of hard to say, right? But that's how I'm playing it. We don't always know 100%. And you don't have to know 100%. And if today, shout out to anybody in the premium Discord, if today was not proof that you do not need to know what is going to happen, right? We just figured, hey, maybe the short plays out. I don't want to miss it. Let's take a low risk trade. And then if it pumps, or at least we're in the long position and we can have that play out, right? Not too shabby. So you don't need to 100% predict every single move. It's very important to realize, right? If you get too hung up on winning all your trades, it's going to it's not scare you out of trading, but it's going to kind of like discourage you because you're going to lose trades, right? Like I'm not bummed that I lost a 4%, right? Like I'm not upset about that stop out, right? I'm not number one because we took a bigger win, but also, even if I didn't take a bigger win, right, you could just take that loss on the chin and move on forward, right? As long as you're not getting liquidated or absolutely wrecked on your account, you know, the small losses and the bigger wins over time will keep you profitable, right? And we are starting to get another little push up here. So we'll see what happens. We got the 10-minute money flow crossing over into the green, 15-minute money flow dying to come into the green there. And if we get that 4-hour green dot, yeah, I'm hoping maybe we can go again. I'm hoping maybe we can go. Get back in here, assess the situation, and then potentially get the bigger breakout. If we get the bigger breakout, I'm looking for shorts either way, right? Like, just to be clear, right? Even if we continue up, right? I'm looking for shorts here. And then if we continue up, I'm going to be looking for shorts again at those higher prices. That's how I'm playing it. If we don't get the setup here, I will not take the trade. This would have been a nice entry. We actually did get some low time frame confirmations here. But If I don't get another confirmation to short here, I will simply wait for the pump, and then I will simply look for confirmations there again. If we don't get a confirmation here, which I highly doubt, I would expect these higher hourly time frames to give us a pullback at some point. But if we come up here and there is no confirmation, I will let that thing fly. I'm happy to let it go, especially because we're in the long now as well. All right, so with that being said, guys, that is what I am looking at on Bitcoin for the most part. We'll keep an eye on this as we do the live stream here. See if we can kind of keep this thing going. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump back into chat. Shout out to all 988 people tuned in. Shout out to the Mafia. Smash that like button. 1,004 people. Smash that like button, guys. 486 likes. We're going for 550. If you just came in, smash that like button. We're giving away some more Solana if we can get 850 by the end of the stream. Shout out to Myth. Said, what up, bro? I need some advice. Opened a Solana long on Drift at 178.50. I'd put in a tight stop, but it did not trigger, and now in quite a loss. Was not able to check the charts. What do I do? Shout out to Myth. Well, we will go ahead. I'll jump into Solana real quick, guys. If you want to see some of your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them into the chat. And I'll shout out to Rob the Crypto Stub. Let's do like 2 requests. I actually do have to hop out of here soon, or not soon, but earlier tonight. I got some important stuff I got to take care of. So it is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. I know it's a meme, guys. We're probably going to go for 2 hours. I know. But I have to, I really do have some stuff to do. So I'm going to try to do some quick TA analysis, and we're going to hop right out. And then, obviously, I'll be in the Discord later. But if you guys want to sign up for the Discord, you can check out FrankieCandlesTrading.com, by the way, or you can check the link in the description down below if you want to join us. It's quite a fun time. To be honest, guys, today was volatile. It was a roller coaster ride. It was a roller coaster ride. This was basically my thoughts. Hey, volume profile is making us look up, right? And that would call for a move into this value area high, right? Which we now know in hindsight was what wound up happening. And I don't like to short as we're below a local value area, but with the way the money flow was looking, I didn't want to miss a dump if we got it, right? So we're like, maybe this happens. And I even walk everybody through it, right? Said, there was the kind of short setup, but I was saying I'm fine getting stopped out of this for a small loss, in which case I would simply be looking up towards the original long, which is in the other channel. Small, lower time frames call for the move back up, but the 24, 30-minute are calling for a drop. Let's see what happens. It's all about risk management, and literally just saying in there, right? Like, I like to share my actual thought process with the Mafia, just saying, like, I don't mind getting stopped out for a small loss if the long is going to run, right? And then, kind of giving the plan on what we would think for the long, and then we wound up getting in, and it was all good. It was all awesome, right? We came into TP1, and then all of a sudden, boom, we get absolutely nuked back down to the ground. And then it was like, oh my God, what is going on there? What is happening there? And then all of a sudden, boom, we come back up and we hit the final TP. It was an absolute roller coaster ride. And we had to take a small loss to get that win. But it was fun. But shout out to the premium Discord. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into some of these altcoins, guys. Let's go ahead and check out Solana real quick. Let me go ahead and pull it up. What's going on here? There we go. Okay, so it's the wrong Solana chart. What is going on here? Local range. Am I tripping right now? Bear with me here, guys. Let me pull up the live stream chart. Bada boom. Take a sip of that black coffee. ApeCoin, please. Shout out to the Infinity. We could try to take a look at ApeCoin. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Hung. Shout out to Hung. Says, Frankie, do you use swing failure patterns in your trading? Do we use swing failure patterns? Shout out to Hung. Yes, we love. I love swing failure patterns. One of the highest probability trade setups with the most best risk to reward, highest probability strategies that I personally like. And yeah, they have very clear invalidation points. That's another reason I like them. I actually have some videos if you guys want to check out how I personally trade SFPs on the channel. You can check that out. But yeah, we do. We absolutely love SFPs. Shout out to Summit in the premium Discord. He also loves SFPs. Let's see. Shout out to Flavor. Said, Frankie, got to go watch the McLaren. Are you telling me I got to go watch the McLaren? Or are you saying you got to go watch your McLaren? Let me know, bro. And if you have to watch your McLaren, what kind you got? 720? 570? I don't know. Let me know. I like them all. Let's see. Shout out to Rag Capital. Said BTC is pumping and I missed the long. Frankie, say it ain't so. Shout out to Rag Capital. It's okay, Rag. Do not FOMO in. Do not FOMO in. There will always be another opportunity. Please, for the love of God. But it's okay, Rag. It's okay, Rag. Hang in there. Hang in there. There will be another trade. I promise. Shout out to Rag Capital. But yeah, let's continue on here. I want to take a look at Solana on the live stream chart here, right? Is this the one? What happened to my Solana chart? Oh, here we are. Okay. So for Solana, right, we had our 4-hour bear div that we looked at on the live stream, pull back into the key level support, value area high, got the bounce to the upside. And yesterday, what we were looking at was another bearish divergence, but this time on higher time frames, like the 12-hour. Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. Now, you can't just short the heck out of bear divs for no reason, right? Context is king. Context matters more than anything, guys. But let's see. Phone is blowing up right now. But yeah, you got the 12-hour bear div. We did get a little bit of a pullback. 16-hour bearish divergence also confirmed. Daily red dot now printing. So instantly, guys, I'm going to come on down to the 90-minute time frame. 90-minute money flow coming to the downside. If we're going to get a bigger pullback on Solana, I do think that money flow on the 90-minute coming into the red may be the thing to call it, right? Start that bigger move to the downside. Shout out to XRP. Didn't we mark this out on XRP the other day? I believe we did. A 90-minute money flow crossover for a bigger move down on XRP. I believe it was. I don't remember. We'll come back to it. But yeah, other than that, guys, like this kind of remains the same, right? If that daily red dot and that 90-minute money flow crossover give you the bigger move to the downside, value area high here at 162 is 162, 163 is still going to be, your key level of support. Right, just like it was down here. If we get stuck underneath it, we would have looked for a move down to the POC. But when you're above the value area high, it is going to be support until proven otherwise, right? Until proven otherwise. So, I guess we could potentially pull a little bit of a volume profile here. What happens if I extend this all the way? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I would look at on Solana, right? Like you get above that value area high, you start putting in some bearish divergences, right? You could get continued 4-hour bearish divergence, right? You also get the fresh 12-hour bearish divergence as you're above that value area high. Now, this does not mean that Solana cannot continue forward, right? But if we got the red dot on the daily and that 90-minute money flow crosses over into the red, this is kind of what I would look at locally, right? You have your nice little volume profile here to give you context into where price is likely to go next. You get stuck under this value area high, 90-minute money flow crosses into the red, you may be able to start your move closer towards that POC. Take a look at the 45-minute money flow in the red. Take a look at the 1-hour money flow starting to cross over into the red. 16-hour red dot already confirmed. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I would look at locally here for Solana. You know, I'm not saying that Solana will definitely dump, but what I am saying is there's bearish divergences above the value area. This is typically where you want to look for shorts. Not necessarily shorts to zero, but at least pullbacks, right? And the big level that I would look at is that POC. If we pull our local golden pocket retracement, it is right on that POC. I kind of assumed that was going to be the case. I know that sounded confident. I just assumed that was probably going to be the case. And it is, right? This is your key level below on Solana. Golden pocket, POC. That 90-minute money flow crosses over into the red, and if you do get that pullback, this is what I'd look at for the bounce. Second key level of support, simply going to be, like I said, value area high, previous value area high, current value area low, between about 162 and 164. That's what I would look at. Now, can Solana continue up in the long term? Sure, maybe. We'll have to see. To be quite honest, yeah, daily red dot, 2-day red dot looking to print, 3-day red dot looking to print. I mean, you may be able to kind of bing bong around here a little bit. But these are definitely the levels. Kind of hard to call the longer term direction. Can we continue up in the long term? Potentially. But I would look in terms of this volume profile. Key level of resistance is your value area high, 176.32. All right, so that's your local range here on Solana. Get stuck underneath here. I'd look for a move down to the $167 POC, golden pocket, and then look for the move down to 164 to 162. So it's in the context of this volume profile, but not calling for a dump to zero just yet. So yeah, that's what I look at on Solana. And shout out to bada boom. Dang, I lost it. Shout out to Myth. So yeah, put in let's see. So he is in a long from 178.50. I'd put in a tight stop loss, 178.50. Okay, so Yeah, I mean that's kind of hard. 100. Let's see, 178.50. Yeah, so I will say this: yeah, hard to say, bro. Like having a stop loss not trigger is difficult because I don't know. It's hard to say, right? I can't really tell you what to do. I would be looking for a potential continued cool off. Could you come back up a little bit before you go down potentially? But it's hard. It's hard to really call for that, and I can't really give you the answer. For me, I'll tell you what I would do. If I were in the red here, if I were in your position, I would probably, not that you should do what I would do, I'd probably just cut the loss, to be quite honest, because... yeah, especially as I'm residing below this. I can't tell you what to do. It could pop up. Anything can really happen. But for me, I would personally just cut that loss, right? Like, if I got to the chart, realized my stop loss didn't trigger, which actually happens really, really rarely. Anytime I have a trade that has no stop loss, I always, like, want to think. And I'm not saying this happened to you, Myth. I always want to think to myself, like, oh, it didn't trigger. Or it triggered and I'm still in the trade somehow. 99% of the time, guys, it's usually just because, likely because I forgot, right? And I'm just trying to say like it was something else. And again, Myth, I'm not saying that's your case. Maybe it really didn't trigger. That does actually happen. It's quite common. It's nice when the trade goes your way because sometimes it'll hit your stop and it won't trigger and then it'll just go. And then you won't get stopped out and you'll remain in the trade, which is nice. But yeah, when it doesn't, yeah, that's a rough situation, bro. I would probably cut the loss. I mean, low, yeah. Your hope. This is your hope, right? Like the 4-hour green dot with the 15-minute money flow crossover into the green would be your hope for higher prices. But I would not be betting. I would not be betting on that, to be quite honest. So I wish I could give you a better answer, Myth. But I would personally just take the loss. It's a hard situation. But I can't tell you what to do. You could hold it and maybe it goes back up. It's very hard to say. But let's see. Shout out to Myth, bro. I wish you the best on that, man. I just know this. I've been in your situation. I know now how not fun it is. Let's see. Yeah, I had that happen on Big Wicks. Yeah, shout out to Sarah. It does happen. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Bada boom. What about shorting Tia? Let's check it. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Solana, guys. Yeah, key levels and the kind of overall analysis. Let's check out Tia real quick. Now, Tia actually, let me get some of these brushes off here, clean it up. Tia actually just had an unlock, I believe, which caused a bunch of sell pressure here. But essentially, basically what happened here was we were at the value area low. We went back up to the POC in the value area high, and now we are just right back down at the low, right? It's hilarious. It's like the amount of times that there's like news or reason for something to dump, it just always happens to line up with the technicals, right? It's absolutely hilarious. We hold the value area low. We go to the POC. What happens at the POC? You start to put in some nice bearish divergences, right? Now, are there other bearish confirmations here? Likely, right? But you put higher highs in price action, lower highs in on your momentum waves. Money flow starts to come out. That's your sign for a potential pullback. You bing bong around, and eventually you get the bigger dump, right? Token unlock. Does the token unlock affect price? Absolutely. But it's just crazy that it always lines up. Amazingly, it always lines up. It's the craziest thing in the world. But here we are, back at the value area low. So yeah, like this, in my opinion, is not the time to short, right? Like the time to short was up here when everyone is bullish, right? Like when you feel like price is pumping, oh my God, we're going up. That's usually the best time to short, right? Everyone's bullish. No one wants to short. That's usually the best time to short. And I'm not saying this is definitely the best time to long either. But like this, like I could never short after this giant move down, right? Like it's just way too late for me. Doesn't mean that you can't just continue down, and not to say that you can't just like degenerately enter positions and see big drops. But that's not going to play out over time, right? You're only gonna get lucky. You're only gonna get lucky once in a while with that. And eventually it's going to wind up wrecking you and losing you way more money than you actually make. So yeah, definitely I would not be looking for this. I would either be looking for a retracement for a short position, or I would be looking for long positions, right? So yeah, it's like that's basically my 2 cents on Tia. But just in general, if we come out here, right? Like, I'm going to try to make an altcoin update video tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about this. I already have a lot of the charts set up. Talking about some of these altcoins that I have a list of right here that I'm looking at, guys, that could be setting up for some really, really nice moves, especially if Bitcoin continues up in Q4 with the elections coming down the line. If we are going to see another big move up on Bitcoin into new all-time highs. Ethereum is also in a very similar situation where we have the accumulation range, and then we have the upper range sitting higher, up at higher prices. Once we break out of here, we are likely to get sucked into these areas of balance, and there's a lot of room to be looking for a price to run. We predicted Bitcoin's breakout above 30K into where we are now based off this same exact thing, right? But when we made that video, it was like price was coming down, right? So people are like, I don't know about that, right? But that's the time that you want to be paying attention. You want to be paying attention down here. For me, even if TIA were to dump more, right? For me, buying down here and maybe even a little lower is going to be the time to buy rather than waiting for the breakout. And then you're going to be thinking like, oh, we'll get a pullback. We'll get a pullback, right? And then price comes back up. You're like, oh, we'll get a pullback. And then you start getting bullish after a huge move already. You want to get bullish when things are boring or scary, right? And in my opinion, there are a lot of altcoins that are set up in this kind of situation here. So TIA is one of them. So long term, still looking the same on TIA. This is an accumulation range for me. You're at value area low, so I would not be looking for fresh shorts down here. Are you seeing like massive signs too long? I don't know. I'd like to see I'm sure a lot of people are not dumping. I'm sure a lot of people are shorting this. Let me see. Do we have a CVD yet on, what am I doing? Do we have CVD yet on TradingView? Did they ever make one? I think they do. Let me see here. Yeah, it's kind of wonked. But yeah, I would, if I had a bet, I would bet a lot of people are shorting this. What I would do is, maybe I'll do this after the stream. If there's a lot of people shorting this, I would potentially look for a short squeeze to build up here. Especially if a lot of the altcoins are going to go flying, right? Like people might see this kind of token unlock and the temporary drop as an opportunity to pick up spot buys, right? So we see like spot buyers picking up, right? But the futures traders are continuing to short. We could see that squeeze up on Solana, in my own personal opinion. And there's ways to actually see that. I have some tutorials on the channel showing you how to do that. But yeah, maybe I'll do that maybe I'll drop that in the premium if we do have that situation. I don't know if we do. But I would love to see that, because if there's a ton of people shorting here and then we start trending up and we see the spot CVD coming up, we might be able to squeeze that thing. But yeah, not getting overly bearish at the value area low. Can you dump? Sure. But it's just too late for me to short. Longs, we do have 2-hour bull divs into the value area low, but money flow's kind of wonked out. I would let this settle, especially with the token unlock. I would let this settle down, but long term, still in the same situation. All right, let's see. Back to BTC. Shout out to David T. Let's check it. Is she coming back up? Is she coming back down? Okay, she's just bing-bonging around. There's some wonked price action today, guys. Lots of like, I'm like, oh. Price action's crazy today. But yeah, we'll see. Kind of in the same situation. 15-minute. How's that 15-minute money flow crossing over into the green? Where's that 4-hour green dot at? Come on, baby, print it. That 15-minute money flow crossover starts coming in with that 4-hour green dot. I think that would give you a bigger move up. Can we get it? I don't know. We might get it live here, though. Let's see. Bada boom. Let's see. Can we check Tau? Yeah, we can check Tau. Let's take a look. Actually, I don't think we've looked at this on the live stream yet. Let's take a look. Make sure I have all the price action here. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of clean, actually, if this plays out as I think it did. Come on, baby. Snipe that range. Boom, baby. There we go. Okay, so let me see. Bada boom. Value area high. Where's it at? POC. Value area low. There we go. So, yeah. This could be, let me actually, no. Give me that lower. No. Okay. I'll just keep it here. See this. Okay. So this little local volume profile, and then I would just look at, I mean, you kind of got this little lower range here. Kind of clean, to be honest. Right? High, POC, value area low. So yeah, I mean, this is really, Let me pull up the VPVR real quick. Come on. Oh, that's market cipher A. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you do have quite the gap. It's not a total gap. Most of your volume's up here. The rest of your volume's down there. Or I should say that opposite. Most of your volume's down here. The rest of your volume's here. Not a lot in the middle. Quick moves up oftentimes lead to quick moves down if you lose the key level. So you do not want to lose this high volume node. Sitting at about 459.40. You do not want to lose this level. If you lose this level, it could cause a much faster drop down. Again, quick move up, quick move down, right? So you really want to hold above that high volume node. I will actually go ahead and label this as key or Q, right? So there you go. If we get back into the range, that's kind of what you're hoping, right? You really want to flip this level back to support because right now you are rejecting it kind of nastily or grossly, I should say. So, yeah, you do not want to lose that 459.40 level. Really, you want to get above here at about 525 to reclaim support and then hopefully make it back up to your POC. But other than that, let's take a look at market cipher here. Let's take a look at the daily. Two-day VWAP coming up. That doesn't look horrible. Money flow also starting to take a little tick up there as well. This kind of gives me. Yeah, ooh, God, yeah. It's kind of mixed here. I will say, if you come back down, you really want to hold these levels. You have another high volume node here. Like, there are levels below you, but for the most part, I mean, you really don't want to lose that. Yeah, you really don't. I mean, yeah, I guess you do have some support, but for the most part, like, there's not that much here. And again, quick move up, quick move down. But you do have some levels here, right? Like key high volume node. You have the golden pocket to 786 on these high volume nodes. So you do have some levels down below. Maybe you kind of come down, right? And then come back up. Hard to say. But again, golden, your high volume node, 459. Golden pocket at 434.87. And then your 786 at 367.54. But yeah, I really wouldn't want to lose that high volume node. But looking at your market cipher B here, let's see. Yeah, maybe. Let me see. 8 hour. Maybe you can kind of put in some bull divs here and then have price come up. Because if you look at your 2-day, this kind of looks like you could get the bear div, right? Which would call for a higher high. That's like really specific. But if you can come down, I would look at this as your key level of support right now. This high volume node down to this golden pocket, like this is an important zone to hold. So that's what I would look at. You come back in there. If you put in the bull divs, like maybe you get the move back up. Value area low remains key resistance until proven otherwise. Flip that. You can look up towards your POC and value area high. But yeah, don't want to lose that high volume node. That's what I look at on Tau. Let's see. 4 hour. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Tau. All right, let's continue on. Is ETH dead, Frankie? Let's call it XRP. Shout out to 12 Big. Shout out to Lil Peb in the chat. Shout out to Mark Dutch says Tau is the new XRP. Shout out to Mark Dutch. All right, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's take a look at Ethereum here, guys, because again, just like I mentioned on the other altcoins like Celestia, Ethereum is in a very similar situation, right? Ethereum is still sitting down here, right? Like, again, let's talk about this. Altcoins, pretty much. Oh, my God. Oh, wait, hang on. Am I tripping? Okay, I'm tripping. This is a local. I mean, we looked at both of these. Flip this value area low. This is your doorway to higher prices, potentially looking up towards the value area high at 18 cents on Dogecoin. But I thought we were looking at the I thought we broke above that 16. I thought this move was through this volume profile. I was like, oh, my God, what the heck? But the yeah, a lot of these altcoins, guys, like a lot of the stuff that I just showed, like TIA, like stuck here with a lot of room to the upside. Ethereum's in the same situation, right? And which makes sense of why a lot of these altcoins are in that situation. The altcoins have essentially gone through a massive correction. Right now, Ethereum a little not as bad, right? About 48, 50%. But a lot of these other altcoins, guys, went through like a pretty much like, we talked about this yesterday, right? Like pretty much an entire like bear market, right? Like these got like a 80% dump, 70% dump, 90% dump, right? Like this is basically a bear market, right? So this is a cyclical market here, guys, right? Like sell high, buy low, right? And Ethereum's in a very similar situation, which is kind of nice, right? Because, once Ethereum winds up breaking out of this pattern, right, or breaking out of this volume profile, we will then be leaving this area of balance, and the next major area of balance is sitting above at about $3,000, right? Between $33 and $3,200. But like, this is really what I'm looking at, right? So again, just like on Bitcoin, how we predicted the move from 30K all the way up to 48 to 50K golden pocket POC, right? It's this literal technique. Breakout here, value area lows, your doorway to higher prices. This is resistance until proven otherwise. You flip this to support, you look to go up to the POC and the value area high. Let me mark this out, right? So this is your doorway to higher prices. Very simply put. Because if you flip this to support, that's where you look to fill the range. Right? Very, very, very simple, right? Pull up, let's see. Ondo, similar situation, right? So yeah, and I'm going to make a market update. I'm going to do an altcoin, maybe an altcoin live stream, or maybe an altcoin market update, talking about this stuff in depth, talking about price targets, all that good stuff. But a lot of these altcoins are in similar situations, and the fact that ETH is in the same situation, I mean, we'll see what happens here. Like these higher time frames, I mean, yeah, green dot on the 3-day, 4-day kind of wonk. I'll be honest, honestly, the signals on the higher time frames aren't super, super clear. We might have some more room to go up with Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin decides to get a big run to the upside, guys, and then consolidate, like let's say we wind up getting a bigger breakout, we get the pump, right? And we start consolidating, maybe around 81,000, right? Something like that. Maybe it's even that more of those local levels, 75K, right? But once we get a big move up, right? Or maybe we get a monumental move up, right? Maybe we finally get to 80, 90, 100. Is that possible from where we are now? Sure. It's not impossible, guys. It's not impossible. Again, am I going to be very careful of dumps? Yes. But can we go? I do think it's possible, right? But once we get that first big move up and that sideways consolidation, that might be where ETH gets a little room to run. That might be where a lot of these altcoins might get some room to recover and run, right? Because a lot of them are in very similar situations. I can't press this enough, right? I bring this up. I've brought this up on so many live streams recently just to kind of show you guys, right? Just so you understand. This is the situation Ethereum is in right now, in my own personal opinion. Could we continue to dump? Sure, right? And we actually have a case for that. We've looked at it in the premium, kind of what I'd be looking at in that case. But for the most part, I mean, this is what we saw on Bitcoin. Bull market highs, bear market, sideways consolidation, break out of the range, retest of the doorway to higher prices. This is the situation that Ethereum is in right now, in my own personal opinion. It's not quite the same because we have a bull market range up here, right? Ethereum was in that same situation as Bitcoin, right? This is the Bitcoin situation, right? You have your 2021 bull market highs, the value area, the bear market, and then the rip back up. Ethereum has the 2021 bull market highs, the value area, right? Or I should say the value area, right? Lower accumulation. We hit our head. Eventually, we break off, and we go to the value area high. But Bitcoin kept going. Ethereum got the correction, right? So keep that in mind, right? Bitcoin just flew, right? Bitcoin got the pullback and then the big fly, right? Ethereum came back down. Keep that in mind, right? Actually, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Let me just pull that range. Let me actually probably have it, right? Yes, I do. So let me just go ahead. Boom, boom, boom. Hide it. Macro value area. Let's see where we are in the context of that macro value area, right on that POC. Right? So is there a possibility that, Ethereum, if it were to get some kind of crazy dump, I would probably be looking like at the lowest $1,900 to the value area low. But in a strong uptrend, in a bull market, we are not guaranteed to go to that value area low. We could easily launch off the POC, right? So we are at key support here, macro POC. And if you pull the local value area from here, I believe that is the value area low. Yeah. So, you could kind of combine this, right? Because this is a little bit more of a wonky range than Bitcoin. You could keep all this price action, or the other way I would pull this is just over this kind of second range that you pulled, or that you formed, right? So you kind of have the wonk out here, right? And then you kind of just have the local range. This local range is the value area low, right? So if I were, if I were, to hide this stuff and just look at this range, you can see that we are actually at that value area low. Can you get the move back up? Keep it in mind, guys. Keep it in mind. It's the same thing we saw on Bitcoin. Hit our head, boom, fill the range. Bitcoin kept going. ETH pulled back. Could be opportunity there. Could be opportunity. We'll see. And I just can't unsee this, right? Just in that same, keep this in mind, same kind of deal as lower accumulation, hit your head, break in, POC value area high. It's the same thing locally. It's the same theory, right? This is like your quote-unquote 2021 top. This is your quote-unquote 2022 bear market, right? I know it's not, but that's your 2022 accumulation. Are we about to repeat what happened on the higher time frames on these lower time frames? It's the same theory. It all works the same. Price action is fractal. It doesn't matter, right? Price action, you trade these concepts the same way on the 1 minute as you would on the 6 day, right? Or the weekly. It's all the same. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Ethereum. And if this goes, chances are a lot of other stuff is going to go. But again, I will say this too. We'll have to. We're going to play it by ear, right? Like we have to play it by ear because what the heck is going on here? Because we have to understand that, to be quite honest, these higher time frames like are a little bit kind of confusing. Like VWAP's kind of flat here. Weekly is kind of I don't really love that. Monthly, curving up, curving. I don't know. It's a little bit wonked. But again, accumulation. If we came back down to the bottom of this range, no big deal. Remember, like, and again, worst case scenario, I would think we would need some kind of a black swan for this to happen. But, simply put, this value area low / POC is very key support. Like, this is an opportunity. If we dump from there, lowest I would see is 1900. But I'm not necessarily looking for that just yet or right now even, right? Like, I'm hoping we could just get Bitcoin to go and start seeing some of this stuff fill the upper ranges. And, like, this is a mirror of a lot of other altcoins. So there we go. I don't want to beat the dead horse too much here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Zeus says Ada. Shout out to Zeus. We can take a look at Cardano, no problemo. Then we'll take a look at Jasmine. Bada boom. Take a look at Cardano, Cardanzo. You know what they like. James Cramer likes to call it Cardanzo. Let me take a sip of the black coffee. Oh, God, guys, I got a lot to do after this live stream. I low-key don't want to get off because I don't want to deal with what I have to deal with when I get off here. It's very confusing. It's got a lot of numbers. It's a lot of organization. Ugh, so dry, so boring. Let's see. Which is funny because you'd think like, Frankie, don't you look at charts and trade all day? Isn't that dry and boring? No. Did I not just show you the Discord? Trading is not dry and boring. Trading is fun. We get to make money. Sometimes we lose money, and sometimes it's fun and crazy and exciting. Unlike doing tax stuff. Anyway, let's continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Seth Shepard said, Frankie, be nice on Ada. Be nice on Ada. I know, guys. Listen, I hold Cardano too. It is, I'm in it with you guys. I'm in it with you. Numbers, you say? Shout out to Tony D. Tony D is very good with numbers. Let's see. Ada's the new XRP. Yeah, to be quite honest, Ada's just going sideways here, guys. But I will say this. Okay, shout out to Tony Roaz. Take a quick look. Let's see. Jupe and what do you say? Jupe and Jasmine. Okay, let's jump in here real quick. Shout out to Crypto Owl, says the greatest. Yeah, shouldn't have. But yeah, Ada slow as a turtle. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Cardano kind of in the same situation it's been in, right? This was your key level of support. Probably what that arrow was pointing to. Key level of support, resistance, flip it to support. Now we could potentially begin the journey up to that POC. However, you do have the local volume profile as well, which is what we're rejecting right now. So I'll tell you this. I'll give you. Excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hide this real quick. Okay. And I'm just going to pull kind of this local range here. Kind of wonky, but kind of the range that you're in. So pull from here to here. You got your value area high. You got your POC. You got your value area low, right? Yeah, I mean, I would look to potentially respect this range until you lose it, right? And then when you lose it, what I would do is I would simply just shift my focus into the other range, right? Come on. Right? Once you wind up losing that range, right, I would simply zoom out and look at the larger range. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can look at here. I mean, even this local profile, if you don't want to pull the whole thing, you could even look at this local profile, hide the bigger range. There's many different ways you can look at this. But to be quite honest, I think the resolution to all of this, or the kind of conclusion here, is it's going sideways. Nothing really exciting here on the lower time frames, to be quite honest with you. So not bad news, just kind of no news. And no news is good news sometimes. Let's see. Shout out to Wake Up USA. Says, I got a bad feeling that Bitcoin will go back to the bottom after BTC breaks all-time highs again. Anyone else feeling this? Shout out to Wake Up. I do have a bearish case for Bitcoin after we break the all-time high. I don't know by what you mean by bottom. I don't know if you mean like 15K bottom. I wouldn't necessarily be expecting that low. But I do have a pretty bearish case, which I'm not willing to share here publicly because I know it's not what anyone wants to hear, and we don't really have to worry about it just yet. But I will prepare you guys as we come up. One day we're going to be flying past that all-time high, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be like, we're ripping. It's going to be so much fun. And then I'm going to be like, but guys, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. We got to take a look at the bearish case. And then low key, just going by past performance, it probably would play out. I'm not saying that, 42K bottom. Shout out to Gene Lee. Gene, are you on my private charts looking at my charts? Shout out to Gene Lee. I mean, I'll finish up ADA, and then I'll kind of talk about that briefly, my situation with the bearish case, because Gene Lee just sniped kind of where I'm looking at. That's weird. Anyway, shout out to Gene Lee. But yeah, Cardano, to be quite honest, like it's the kind of setup that we were looking at on Ethereum. Like, you got to get out of this, and then, big level to break, 46, 47 cents. Get above that. That'll get you back into the larger range, and a continuation to the upside likely. Other than that, this thing is going sideways. So, yeah, it's just in the same situation. A lot of these altcoins aren't really they're just all in the same situation. So I don't really want to spend too much time on them if they all look with the ones that look the same. Bottoms up. Shout out to Breen, not to be confused with Gene. But yes. I think somebody just knocked on my door. This is kind of what I would look at, right? If we're going to break the all-time highs, we have to remember, we have a ton of liquidity. I guess I'll do this later. We have a ton of liquidity sitting above these all-time highs, guys, right? Which, number one, could give it a very exciting pump to the upside. However, if we are going to come up and get everybody excited, get everyone to FOMO into long positions, this would create a lot of liquidity. We got tons of people longing on the way up. What would make a lot of sense to me, especially if this market maker coin, which is what I'm calling Bitcoin from now on, is going to come up and then absolutely wreck everybody. And I know this is not what anyone wants to hear. And again, I'm not calling for this just yet. But as we push up here, this will be something that I am at least entertaining on my private chart. If I see the signals here for a pullback, you bet your bottom dollar I am going to short it. I don't care if it's popular opinion. I don't care if people want to hear it. If I can make money on that move, I am going to at least entertain this situation. And if I get the confirmations, I will execute on it, right? Because the Mafia makes money going both ways. That's the beautiful thing. So if you're here and you're making money trading Bitcoin, whether the price goes up or down with the CandleMafia, a bearish case shouldn't even scare you, right? Because I think a lot of people just want their spot bags to pump. But your long-term investments, don't worry about them. I hodl my long-term bags, right? That's why when I look for price to go down, I don't get upset over it, right? Because we just need a move. We need a big move. Whether it's up or down, we make the money, right? So I will be entertaining an idea here, and really what I would think is to come up, sweep liquidity, get a big dump to the downside, potentially taking out the lows here. But again, I'm not calling for that right now. There's no reason to call for it right now. But like if we're talking apocalyptic situation, black swan event, right? I will say that too. Even if the signals are here technically on the push up, maybe we rip up to 81K and get the dump, and then we go to the hundreds, right? There's a million ways this can play out. It doesn't always have to play out picture perfect to what the 4-year cycle calls for, right? Now, again, the 4-year cycle is rhyming pretty closely right now, which is pretty interesting. But if we were to get that, even if the technical signals are there, I still do think we're going to need some kind of news event to come in magically, right, to get the bigger push down. But again, I'm not looking at that just yet. I'm hoping, I'm going to keep my bull goggles on and hoping that we can just get out of here, right? Hoping we can just get out of here, rip up to 80, 81, 91, 101, 130. Hopefully we can get up there and just go. Hopefully this is the moment. But if it's not, and there are signs of a reversal, your boy Frankie Candles is not going to let the Mafia get wrecked, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think coming into that move. If I am going to be worried, I'm going to let you guys know, because the Mafia is here to make money, not just listen to FOMO and get wrecked. But yeah, hopefully we can just keep going. Right now, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good right now, but it could change. Things change at the snap of a finger in crypto, right? Oh my God, the world's falling down. Oh my God, the world's falling down. A couple of days later, right? Like even on the daily. Oh my God, we're dumping. We're in the 40s. Oh my God. And then boom, quick buyback. And we come back up, right? Like things change fast. And that's why you want to understand where the liquidity is. You want to understand where those liquidation wicks are likely to come in so you don't get scared out of the market. You could look at this and you could say to yourself, I know why we're dumping here. This is shorts getting plowed right now. Shorts are getting screwed on that way down. You're not panicking. You're not, oh my God, is Bitcoin worthless now? Is it going to zero? You're thinking like, wow, look at all those shorts getting wrecked. And when you get good enough at it, you're in there from the top making money on the way down, not getting scared. And I know the liquidations, I know the liquidity gets a little confusing. Here's an easy way you could kind of simplify it, is simply just look at your visible range volume profile, guys. Now, this has nothing to do with finding liquidation levels, but back when we were looking at this price action, we knew that if we were going to get a quick move, actually, I think it was this dump. What was this? Oh, no. I think it was this dump. Let me see here. Come on, volume. Or maybe, I guess it was the August dump? No, I think it was the 4th of July dump. Bear with me here, guys. Because what we were looking at, come on, volume. There you go. What we were looking at here on the 4th of July, right? Let me actually pull this up. Shout out to the Mafia and anybody who is watching this. The VPVR is not going to load. Dang it. Okay. Well, I'll kind of pull it up as closely as I can. Right. What we were looking at here on the live streams here, guys, for the 4th of July, was the fact that, hey, let me get the volume to load. Okay. We were looking at this saying, hey guys, if we start falling into this low volume gap, which we knew was sitting right hither, right? We knew that if we broke down in there, we were likely going to see a quick move through that level, potentially down to the $52,000 level. That's where we had that 52K zone. You guys will remember it all the way right here. We slightly front ran it, but I said, we were talking about how, if we get the dump, it could put your mind at ease, understanding that there is a volume gap here. So when you push down, you're not panicking, right? It's not fun to watch Bitcoin dump. I don't like to see it dump unless I'm in a short, but it kind of puts your mind at ease, takes your emotion out of things because, and then what happened? We actually wound up seeing that happen perfectly, right? What happens? We wind up coming down, and I'll have to, we can't go into bar replay mode, unfortunately, but it was very clean. We had that volume gap here, and we knew if we started slipping into there, things would probably get pretty scary. And then I was out on the 4th of July seeing this dump to the downside and just going, there's that volume gap getting filled. 52K is the next big zone of support. We barely front ran 52K. We bounced off 53, and we got the move up. This was not scary. This was a volume gap getting filled, right? Same thing down here, right? This was liquidations. This was obviously liquidations as well. But yeah, there you go. That's why you want to understand where the liquidity is or where the volume gaps are so you don't get all freaked out when things happen, right? So there you go. Anyway, let's continue on. Yo, shout out to Mark Dutch. Did Frankie just say 52K? Dang, they promised me 100K. Hopefully, shout out to Mark Dutch. Hopefully we could promise you 100K as well. Again, hopefully we could just go. Hopefully. But we'll see. If anything changes, I will let you guys know ASAP. But let's see. Bada boom. 22K. Shout out to VW John. 22K in March. Oh, no, 225K in March. I was like, 22K. Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. it's like when everybody was saying, like, is this a bear market, right? It's like that would be the most lackluster bull run ever. Like, would that be impossible? I guess not. Anything is possible. But, like we are just getting going here, right, in my opinion, right? A lot has played out. I think we might be further along than people realize, that I think a lot of people do realize. But, again, like, pull up our moon mission. I'll pull up my moon mission kind of situation here. Bada boom. Where is my moon mission situation? Here we go, right? Moon mission situation for me are where is it? What chart? Oh, it's in my cycle chart. That's why. So yeah, my moon mission. Bada boom. Or I'm tripping. I guess. Okay, guys. No higher targets for Bitcoin. No moon mission. I don't know. I don't know where I have this. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'll just say the levels. I'll just say, oh, here we go. Moon mission. Here we are. So, zoom out here, right? Moon mission for me, guys. We went over this, right? We went over this in the market update. We went over this in the live stream last night. If we were to get the ripski to the upside, right? Get the move up into the six figures, I do think that we are going to likely get a push into the 81s. The 90s, the 100s. I will be taking profit along the way. I am not looking to hold Bitcoin and sell it at 300K. I am not going to hold on and wait for 300K. If you've been through a crypto cycle, you know what it's like. Very likely, everybody's first cycle is typically buying the top and selling the bottom, right? Or buying the top and then never selling, hopefully, and then riding it back into the next cycle. I will not be doing that, right? I to be quite honest with you guys, my first cycle was 2017. To be quite honest, I didn't really buy the top and sell the bottom. I actually did make a little bit of money, but I did it horribly, right? Like, I barely made away with any money. So just keep that in mind, right? Like, I am going to be do not, like, and when we come up here, guys, remember when we were looking for 100K, keep this in mind. Back in 2021, when everyone was telling you it was going to $100,000, I wasn't here, unfortunately. But now I am, and I'm going to keep you guys updated. But when everyone was calling for 100K, guys, we were hearing crazy stuff, right? You have to understand this because this is going to happen again. The news is going to get crazy. Tesla buys Bitcoin. Oh, my God, this is finally a thing. Mass adoption, it's going to 100K at least. Then you have actual financial institutions saying they see a realistic price target of $500,000. This is what makes people freak out and hold their bags till the top because they hear those numbers and then they think to themselves like, well, heck, I mean, if JP Morgan thinks we're going to 500K or whatever, right, easily we'll get to 100K. And what happened? We didn't even get close to 100K, right? We barely got 3/4 of the way there. So not even, right? So just keep that in mind. Like, when you get up to 100K, it's going to feel there's probably going to be legit things. It's going to be on the news. Analysts say that Bitcoin can go to $1 million by 2020, the end of 2025, right? Like, remember, this stuff has never meant anything, right? Like, this stuff is always just like murkiness in the water. And I've never paid attention. I mean, I pay attention to it, right? But I always just think to myself, charts, right? 500K, what do they mean? How much money has to flow in for it to hit 500K? Also, remember this, right? I actually used to have a chart that actually had all these things labeled. I wish I could find it. I'm not going to go through the time. Every single major top is on bullish news, right? There's something with MasterCard, I think, happened back here. Oh, my God, mass adoption. What happens? Massive move down, black swan event, right? What happens up here? I think the futures ETFs was like one of these tops or something. One of them was Tesla. You could look it up. All of these tops were major bullish events, which is going to make everybody hold on. But what do you win? If you drop a 1 in the chat, and don't be ashamed of yourselves, right? Do not be ashamed. This is okay, right? If you held waiting for 100K and you held all the way back down, or you sold at the bottom, or you just weren't able to take profits on the way up, would you have wished that you were, in hindsight, when you were back down here, didn't you wish that maybe you just took a little off the table here, a little off the table here, a little bit off the table here, and then maybe Bitcoin did go to 100K, right? But at least you locked in some profits, right? Missed gains are none of your business. If missed gains are your business, then you better be upset every time someone wins the lottery, right? Oh, man, if I just guessed the right lottery numbers, I would have won. Oh, man, if I picked these numbers, but only if I picked these numbers, I would have won, right? So people paying themselves on the way up, right? They might think if it went to 100K, they might think to themselves like, oh, man, I could have won. I could have got more money, right? But they're not going to hate themselves for making money. And then, in this case, if we're looking up for 100K and everyone's expecting, and I'm not saying that 200K is off the table at all, right? But it's a reassess the situation, right? If we get up to 80, 90, 100K, I'm reassessing the situation. Likely, if there's going to be a continuation, there's going to be a reason to be looking for higher prices. But if we get up there and it is screaming down, right, AKA, I don't know, AKA massive weekly bearish divergence, money flow absolutely tanking, right? Monthly bearish divergence, money flow coming out, right? Or this was a little harder to tell with the money flow, but the weekly money flow coming out, massive bearish divergence, monthly bearish divergence, massive news events at the tops. If there are signs that are looking like we're going to get a pullback, even if it's a pullback before a continuation up, this would not have been a bad place to take some profit, right? And then even if you missed that second pump, you still basically sold the top. And it's likely going to play out much, much different this time, right? But I just want you guys to be prepared because when we hit 100K, when we hit 80K, 90K, eventually there's going to be what we call euphoria, where nobody thinks it's going to go down again. It's what we were feeling. Well, maybe not here, but we were feeling it here. We were definitely feeling it here. Is where your barber's telling you to buy whatever coin, right? Your barber's got crypto advisor in his Instagram bio. I'm from New York, so that happened a lot. I had a lot of random people that knew nothing about crypto that just started putting in their Instagram bio. It's like a New York thing, I think. It's just like the hustler thing. And then that's the euphoria, right? We will enter that phase again, and there will be crazy news stories. It doesn't matter whoever's buying it, right? As long as the chart, whatever the charts are saying, right? The charts are bearish, and we have Elon Musk buying Bitcoin, and we have, I don't know, ESPN with a decentralized, whatever, right? Whatever the news is. If the chart looks bearish, remember that all the tops come in on bullish news every time. Maybe I'll show this tomorrow. I'll pull it up on the show, and I'll label all these news events to help you guys. And again, if we get up to 100K, hopefully it looks like it's going to keep going. In which case, my next target would be between $150,000 and $208,000, which would be very, very nice. But just understand, just because an influencer says that 200K is incoming does not guarantee it happens, right? So yeah, there we go. 100% transparency here on this channel, guys. I want you to make money. I don't care if I have to do it through saying what not everybody wants to hear. And like I said, if we get up to 100K, and let's say we are getting some super bearish confirmations, right? And we wind up getting a big pullback. And it's, oh my God, guys, this is probably going to be the start of a massive bear market. And I'm not saying we're going down to 17K, but just for example, if we see that, just remember, dumps for the CandleMafia are very simply put, just another bull market. Because we can short it and just flip the chart, change the color of the candles, right? This move up from the bottom could have been a dump. We would have made money the same way, right? When we hit the top, it could just be another pump, right? The dump, we can make money on the dump just like we do the pump because we could just short it, right? So don't get scared. And if you're here and you want to stick around and potentially have crypto change your life and maybe become your full-time job, this is learning how to do this. Don't get scared and walk away in the bear market, whether it happens at 100K, whether it happens at 150 or 200K or 300 or 500 or a million. Wherever it happens, just know whenever we go into another bear market, it's going to feel like the least likely time to go into a bear market. It's going to be like, how could we go into a bear market? This huge company just bought Bitcoin. This is happening. The government is mass adoption, right? It's not going to feel like the top. It's going to feel like the opposite. It's going to feel like the best time to buy, but it is very likely going to be the worst time to buy, right? Just like down here, you have exchanges going down. Oh my God, Luna to zero, FTX to zero. Everything is, crypto's dead. We need regulation. This is terrible. Best time to buy Bitcoin. When it feels like the dumbest time to buy Bitcoin, it is typically the smart. Anytime I've bought the bottom, right, it's felt like I made the worst decision of my life, right? When I was buying Bitcoin down here, I was talking to my dad, and I told him, my dad is a G, man. My dad trades stocks, right? He's traded stocks for a while, and he crushes. I don't know how he does it. He's not a big TA guy. He looks at the charts, but he's not really a big TA guy, but he crushes, and he crushes crypto too. Unstoppable. But the crazy thing is I was talking to my dad down here, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like, listen, Dad, the 4-year cycle. I'm trying to talk to him about the 4-year cycle, all this stuff. And and I'm just like, we're right on time. We're right on time. I know it feels crazy. Like, I know everything's going down, but I'm sticking to the plan. And I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though I pulled the trigger, right, it felt crazy. I'm like, oh my god, like if these things keep going down, maybe we go into a super bear market. Like I feel those emotions, right? But this felt horrible buying this, but it wound up being the bottom, right? And I didn't get in at the exact bottom, right? I DCA'd in. I got an average buy price, but it's the same thing on the way up. When you see those massive gains, it's going to feel like the worst time to buy. Oh my God, I've just made so much money. I can't sell now. This thing changed my life. It's usually the time to sell. Psychology of the market is crazy. So there you go, guys. Let's see. Your dad is the godfather. Shout out to Gen Z. Yeah, my dad's a savage trader. It's crazy. And it's wild too, because although like I talked to my dad about trading, it's not necessarily why I'm in this now. It's crazy. It's really weird. I didn't even really think until like after someone said it on my stream, or my dad came into the stream and I mentioned that he trades, and I was like, I never really talk about that. But yeah, I don't know. He just trades stocks. I don't really trade stocks, so I just kind of separate it. But he's also not a TA guy, so it's just completely different. But anyway, shout out to Tony D. Said 51 more likes. Let's go, everyone. One final push. Push, baby, push. One more. Smash that like button one more time. If you already hit it 2 more times. Make sure it's an odd amount of times. Sailor said that he is raising $43 billion to buy Bitcoin today. We may be close to a local top. Yo, shout out to Good Travis Hunting. Hey, bro, that is I thought you were going to say we're about to mega pump, but you said what I wanted you to say. But again, and it's not always going to be like that, guys. Sometimes it feels bullish, and it's just bullish, right? I don't want to, I just want to, give you guys a word of caution as we potentially go into the next parabolic move of the bull run. I will be locking in profits up to 100K. I don't mind, right? I'm not going to sell it all. Not like when we get to 100K, I'm going to sell everything, right? Again, I'm going to reassess the situation, and based off the assessment that I have up here, maybe I'll be taking profits, right? And maybe we go to 200K or 150, and I have a smaller amount of my bag going up there. That's fine. I don't care, right? It's better to lock in profits than, again, wait for 200K, hit 155, and then go back down and lose all your money, right? Keep it in mind. This game is about preserving your capital, not making the most amount of money. It's like trading. If you want to be a successful trader, the best thing you can do is stop trying to make money. Stop trying to make money, because you're not going to get rich overnight trading. You can make a lot of money. You can get rich trading. It's not a scam. It's possible. But when you're learning, it is you versus you. It is your brain versus you. It is one of the hardest things to do on earth, in my opinion, right? Because you're battling your brain. Stop trying to make money. Take the dollar amount out of it and focus on percentages. Focus on the strategy. Focus on your risk to reward. Focus on risk management, right? Once you nail those things down, the money will eventually come, right? Don't focus on, oh man, I want to hit the goal of making $100 a day. I want to hit the goal of making $1,000 a week. I want to get my first 5-figure trade. I want to get my first multi-5-figure trade. I want to make $500 a day. Don't focus on that. It is the wrong thing to focus on, and it is going to give you the slowest and longest road to making money trading. If you really want to make money trading, forget about the money. Focus on all the things I just listed, and the money will come soon enough. Nothing that is worthwhile comes fast or easy. And if it does, be careful, because it can get ripped out of your hands at any moment. Can you get lucky on a trade? Absolutely. Can you make a lot of money on that lucky trade? Absolutely. But be careful, because if you do that, you didn't really learn anything, right? You just kind of gambled, got lucky. You're very likely to put that money back in the market, and it's going to take it back from you every single time. It's like a casino. When you win, walk away, if you're trading like a gambler. But if you focus on the TA, if you focus on the trades, if you focus on the strategy, the risk management, the psychology, the important things about trading that will actually make you money, practice on that, the money will come slow, and you will have a skill for the rest of your life to pay you out and give you the ability to jump on a computer and extract money from the market. Not lay on a beach and hit buy and sell easily, but it gives you a skill that you can extract money out of your computer. Sometimes it takes it back, but it is definitely possible. But just don't focus on the money. It's the easiest thing to do. Forget about it. Look at it in forms of percentages. It's the easiest thing to do, right? Making 5% on $100 is the same, is just as easy or just as hard as making 5% on $100,000. You can always up the capital. You can always try to get a funded account. You can always save up and grow your account over time, right? If you can get 5% on $100, you can get 5% on 100,000, right? So don't worry about trying to make 5K a day or 5K, 5% on your account every week or whatever it is. Focus on anything but the money, and the money will come. Forget about the money. It will come. I promise you. I promise you. If you focus on the money, it will leave your account. I've gone through it. I've gone through it. It wasn't until I just geeked out over the actual analysis and found a love and a passion for the analysis. That is what changed my life. That is what changed it for me, right? That is what gave me the breakthrough and helped me understand what was actually going on. Before, I was loading up an account with $200 and I was putting on 100x leverage, and I would get lucky sometimes. Oh my God, I made $800. Oh my God, I'm gonna get rich right now. Like, this is so easy. I'm a genius. Ripped out of my hands the next day. Put in another 200. I'll do it again. Ripped out of my hands. Ripped out of my hands. Ripped out of my hands. Let me just focus on the TA. Let me paper trade a little bit. Let me just practice, right? Let me geek out. Let me actually try to take some profits along the way and not just hit a grand slam. That's when I started making money. So there you go. Hopefully, I've spent tons and tons of time, tens of thousands of hours learning from mistakes, making mistakes, and sitting on the charts, guys. Please learn from my mistakes. Save yourself the time, save yourself the money. You're still likely going to have to spend, you're still going to have to put in the work, put in the time, and put in the money, but hopefully I can expedite it by you learning through my mistakes and my journey. So there you go. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully that helps somebody out there. And I see you guys. I see the Mafia in the chat talking about taking profits and all that good stuff. I see you guys. You guys are learning. I know you are. Especially in the premium Discord. I see people grow over time. It's like the most magical thing in the world. I love it. Shout out to Wick589. Said, interesting psychology. Shout out. Shout out to Wick589. Said, can't remember who said it. They scale out of their spot positions at important resistance levels, but they have to convince themselves that they're doing that to make more dry powder for price drops. It's a good idea, right? I'm just selling here so I could buy more on the way down and make more money. But yeah, like, what do you want to do with crypto? You have to go into it with a plan. If you're just going in to make up, I just want to get rich. Can it happen? Yes. I know a lot of people in crypto. I don't know a lot of people who just hit a meme coin and made $1 billion, or bought an altcoin and made $1 billion, right? Like, I think it's a lot less common than people realize, right? I think it's like, and it's not that it can't happen, guys. There is so much opportunity. You can 100% make life-changing money in this bull run coming up. The opportunity is there. But I just don't gamble your money away chasing something that is unlikely to happen is basically what I'm saying. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Stop trying to hit the grand slams every time. Garrett Soloway said this on our show one time. I don't want to take credit. He said it, not me. But I love the way he broke it down. Singles and doubles will make you a millionaire. Confident singles and doubles will make you a millionaire. AKA the slow road, right? Only going for grand slams will make you broke, right? Singles and doubles will make you a millionaire. Sometimes you're single or double, you can hold that winner after taking profit and moving your stop loss. You can hold that winner, and that grand slam hits you by surprise. Great, right? But only going for grand slams, only gambling, you're going to lose all your money, right? More likely than not. So yeah. Let's see. Darren Dusting says, I'm looking to buy 2 investment properties with bull run profits. Passive income, baby. Yeah, shout out to Darren Does Things. That's I like that. I like that, Darren. Okay, let's go ahead and take a just tell us when to buy and sell. Shout out to Gen Z. Well, we'll be here along the whole way. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead. Shout out to Gen Z. Let's take a quick look at Jasmine here, guys. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's pull up the live stream chart real quick. Jasmine, I just met you. All right, let's see. Okay, well, we looked at Jasmine yesterday. So yeah, for Jasmine, come on. You're in at your value area low. Let me pull up a higher time frame here. Pull up the daily. Yeah, so on Jasmine, you have your let me go ahead and highlight this. Bada boom. Value area low, POC, value area high. Let's see. 10-hour red dot. Yeah, so you're within your volume profile. 10-hour, 12-hour, and 16-hour VWAPs are cooling off. If you cool off, key level of support, or key levels that I would look at coming on down. Shout out to Khan. Said, bro, I'm from Pakistan. Could not understand you very well, but for an hour, I just listen. What the heck are you eating? I think he means what the heck am I saying? Or is he talking about what the heck am I drinking? Yo, shout out to Khan. I like you, bro. Shout out to Khan. Let's go. That must be frustrating. Like, we're looking at all these numbers and lines on the chart. That's got to be really frustrating. Not being able to, like, not having English as your first language and trying to watch this has got to be super difficult. But shout out to Khan. Thank you for being here, bro. We appreciate you. Guys, ignore Tony D. Ignore Tony D. Anyway, Tony, I just want to stay doing this. This is much more fun than what I have to do after this. All right, let's see. So your value area lows are going to be your key level of support. That is sitting at about 0.01685. Golden Pocket 786 is sitting right in confluence with that level, right? Your local 786, Golden Pocket 786. So if you come down, you would ideally want to hold these levels to continue up towards that POC. Flip that POC, you're looking up towards higher prices. I would probably lean towards a cool-off, especially when the 12 and the 16-hour red dots start to print. I would definitely lean towards a cool-off there. But yeah, I mean, you're still within your volume profile. And then if we zoom out, this is where you do have a low volume gap. We took a look at this yesterday. I marked it out for you guys. Visible range volume profile, massive volume gap here. So you do not want to enter this box. This box that starts at about, call it 0.01428. You do not want to enter that zone. It may cause a very fast drop into this blue box sitting all the way down at 0.00, I mean under a penny, right? You do not want to get into this box. Low volume gap. Quick moves up oftentimes give you quick moves down, right? But other than that, your local levels are going to be within this volume profile with the value area low, POC, and value area high. All right, let's take a quick look at Jupe or Jup, as some people like to call it. Bada boom. Let's see. Jupiter. Bada boom. Bada bing. Let's see. Where is our actual? Let me pull this up. Do we have this on this chart? Bada boom. Nope. Let's see. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this on the daily. All right, well, let's pull this up. Value area low. Shout out to Rad Capital, said sold last cycle at 62K and was mad because it kept running last cycle. Then I was so happy. Yeah, shout out to Rad Capital. How happy are you that you did not react off those emotions of it keep continuing to run? You do not. It is so hard to snipe the top of a macro move like that, the top of a bull run. It's very hard to snipe the top, right? And obviously, in hindsight, seeing the weekly bearish divergence, it's very easy to say, oh, that was obvious. Now, this would have been an obvious pullback, right? Like, this is an obvious macro bearish signal. Higher highs and lower highs on your momentum waves, right? With money flow coming out. That's a very bearish sign, but you don't know at that time, right? You could call for a pretty big move down, right? But you don't know if it's going to come down and then get one last push up, especially when you have everyone in your ear calling for levels that, I mean, I don't know where everyone got that level from. I'm sure there was something they were looking at, but yeah, I mean, we were at significant Fibonacci levels, Fibonacci extension levels. I mean, the bearish divergences were there, but again, you don't know for a fact that that's going to be the bear market, right? But you just know that's going to be a strong bearish macro signal, which is likely to give you some kind of significant pullback. And then it wasn't really until here where I was saying, hey, this looks like it's probably going to be the start of the bear market. So, like, sure, this looked bearish for the move down. I didn't have my channel during this, but I did during this. So, yeah, this looked weak. But we could have gotten a strong bounce here, right? That could have just been a value area move with a bull div and a bigger move up, right? But it's hard to call that in the moment. It's very hard to say this is the actual top. It's easy to say you'll get a pullback. Hard to say it's going to be the top, right? So, yeah, keep that in mind, right? It's very hard to call those tops. So, you know, if you sell it at 93K and it goes to 104K, you basically sold the top, right? You missed out on little gains, but you're never going to be able to get it 100%. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at Jupe, right? So we're actually seeing this play out pretty nicely. I'm going to get rid of this daily naked point of control. It's now tapped. But here we are, right? Like this is an older chart, right? We haven't really looked at this that much. But value area low, this is the key zone. This is the resistance until proven otherwise. Once you break up, flip it to support. You're looking to go up technically towards your POC, which is sitting right here. But you also have the daily and weekly naked point of control. You wind up coming up to those levels, get the pullback, hold the value area low, and you're just within your volume profile. So right now, I mean, your next significant level of resistance is kind of what you're rejecting off of right now, right? So we'll pull the POC, bada boom. And let me just mark that out. Oops. Mark this out as a POC. So yeah, this zone, right? This is your zone. Like, obviously, once you flip the value area low, you look to come into this zone. This is between about 111 all the way up to about 117. Flip that 117 POC into support. That's where you're looking up for the bigger move into the value area high, which is sitting at $1.35. So that is kind of the move. You know, likely a lot of noise to be had here, right? You could come back down to the value area, bing, bong around, kind of bing, 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 right? Get back above there. That's where I'm looking for the bigger move up. But yeah, you're within your volume profile. This is nice, right? This is kind of the similar situation that is going on with a lot of the other altcoins, right? There is your 2024 top, right? 2024 top all the way down, 65%, right? Little fake bear market. And then you kind of consolidate down here in your mini range. This is the same thing we looked at on all the other altcoins, right? A little mini range down here. Your goal is to break above that value area low to open up more upside. So key level of support, 91 cents, 0.9184. Stay above it, look up into this zone, flip it to support, look up to the value area high. If you lose this zone, I would simply look to come back down towards this value area low, right? Or towards this POC, I should say, right? You have your value area high here at 89 cents, POC sitting at 77 cents. So as long as you stay above this level, kind of bing bong around, and then lose that level, look to come back into the lower range. But for now, looks like you just want to hang out in here. Key level support, 0.9184. And that's what I'm looking at on Jupe. And with shout out to Jay Edits. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, can we take a look at mobile? It just keeps going straight. It just keeps going straight down. Let's see. Well, shout out to Jay. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Let's take a quick look at mobile, or mobile, as some people call it. Oh, my God. This thing's going to zero. Let's see. Helium Mobile. Yikes. This is... Whew. It would definitely be a let the dust settle situation. Fresh red dot on the 12-hour. Fresh red dot looking to print on the 16-hour. Oh, but you're getting a daily green dot. Let's see here. Yikes. I mean, this is... Woof. Money flow on the 90 minutes choppy. Daily green dot. This thing's a mess. 4-hour money flows all over the place. There's not a single clear signal here on any time frame. Yeah, maybe getting a money flow crossover on the 12-minute with a 4-hour green dot. Maybe you get a little relief here. I would let the dust settle on this. I will say this, though. Pretty massive dump here. What is this dumping off of? Was there, like, news or something? Yikes. I mean, your hope. Your hope would be to come back up in here at some point. But I would not be, like, taking a long based off that. But yeah, I wouldn't even say there's that many low, like, time frame signals here to look for a big move. I would let this settle down, to be quite honest with you. Let's take a look at the VPVR real quick. Let me turn off the value area low. Yeah, I would be careful. This does not look good. This does not look good. This is hard to call. I would let the dust settle. If you get a bounce, I would hope that you could come back up into this retracement level. But, I mean, even then, I mean, you got a lot of work to do. Very, 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 very hard to call. This is kind of a mess, bro. I apologize. I wish I could give you a better kind of analysis, but I would have to wait for some kind of consolidation or something down here to get a signal. 16-hour red dot. Yeah, I would have to wait, man. I will say this, though. Man, it doesn't look good. It really doesn't. Yikes. Yeah, it's hard to call here, brother. It's hard to call here. It's like I would give you key levels, but I can't even get them. I can't even get the key levels. Like, you want to reclaim this high volume node? This is, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I would let the dust settle on this. It's almost impossible for me to give any kind of yeah, it's like impossible for me to give any kind of support or anything. Yeah. Sorry, bro. I wish I could help. This thing is a mess. Rejected this. I mean, if you get a retracement, I would first look to come up to this golden pocket at whatever number this is. However many zeros, 870. But yeah, this is a mess. I would let the dust settle, look for consolidation, and once it kind of settles down, it'd be able to get a more clear signal. But this is just completely mixed. This thing's just kind of dumping. But yeah, I wish I could help more, bro. I apologize. It's kind of garbage analysis, but that's a difficult chart to read. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out till the end of the stream here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Retro Mike Tech. What is RMT saying? Shout out to RMT. Leo. Yeah. Shout out to Jay Edit. Said a real working project with horrible price action. No worries, Frankie. Thanks for all you do. Shout out to Jay, man. Bro, if you want to give me another request, I'll try to look at something else for you. But yeah, that's a hard chart. I don't want to give you bad information. So, but shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you for being here. And yeah, hopefully we can. We'll check in on it once it starts moving again. But shout out to RMT. Where is RMT? I don't see RMT in the chat. Shout out to Wig589. RMT, show yourself right now. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out till the end of the stream. We hit 850 likes, guys. Keep running up those likes on your way out. We're going to be giving away some more Solana, I guess it's going to be, on Friday's live stream. We got a bunch of Solana to give away. We got a bunch of Cardano to give away. Thank you for smashing the like buttons, guys. And I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. If you want to get the full Bitcoin analysis, go to the beginning of the stream. I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. See you next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Okay, am I getting trolled in the chat right now? I just saw my Retro Mike Tech, but he is nowhere else in the chat. Shout out to Quiet Shy. We will do Brett analysis on tomorrow night's live stream. Or if I get the altcoin update out on what's up with this hat, guys? What's up with this hat? If I get the hi guys, if we get the altcoin update out tomorrow, Brett will be on that video. So keep a lookout for that video. And if not, shout out to Quiet Shy. Thank you for the super chat. If not, we will take a look at Brett tomorrow. Rob, if you're still here, if you could drop that into the altcoin list for tomorrow. But shout out to Retro Mike. I couldn't see you, bro, but I see you. I saw you pop in there. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech. I don't know. I thought Tony banned you or something. I was about to have to go throw hands with Tony. But anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Thank you all for tuning in. Special like button on your way out. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know.